Hello everyone, in this part of natural resources, today we will talk about the greenhouse effect and greenhouse gases, in which first we will understand the meaning of greenhouse effect and then we will talk about the different causes and consequences of greenhouse effect. After that, we will discuss about the topics that are relevant to the greenhouse effect, that are global warming and ozone layer depletion. And at last we will talk about the preventive measures to reduce greenhouse effect. So let's begin. We are discussing natural resources and topic for discussion today is greenhouse effect. In short, we can write this greenhouse effect as GHE. So first let us understand the meaning of greenhouse effect. It is the process of trapping or capturing the radiations from the sun by the earth atmosphere in the form of greenhouse gases that makes the atmosphere warm. So such type of effect is called greenhouse effect. Now let us write this greenhouse effect, that it is the process of trapping or capturing the radiations from sun by the earth atmosphere in the form of greenhouse gases. That makes the atmosphere warm. And these greenhouse gases are carbon dioxide, water vapor, nitrogen dioxide, methane, chlorofluorocarbon, that is CFCs. So the trapping of radiation from the sun by the earth atmosphere in the form of greenhouse gases that makes the atmosphere warm is called, such type of effect is called greenhouse effect, and the greenhouse gases are carbon dioxide, water vapor, nitrogen dioxide, carbon dioxide, water vapor, nitrogen dioxide, methane and chlorofluorocarbon. So these are the greenhouse gases that traps or captures the radiation from the sun and makes the atmosphere warm. However, some of the radiations are trapped or captured by the earth atmosphere in the form of greenhouse gases. Greenhouse gases are those gases that captures or traps the radiation coming from the sun and makes the atmosphere warm. Now let us see why it is called greenhouse effect. It is called greenhouse effect because of the greenhouse nurseries. You might have seen this greenhouse nursery. The important thing of this greenhouse nursery is that it is made of glass. These are the buildings that are made of glass, and this glass captures or traps the radiations coming from the sun and thus makes the atmosphere warm inside the nursery. As those plants are grown in these nurseries that are very sensitive and that requires warm atmosphere. So in both cases, in case of greenhouse effect and in greenhouse nursery, both cases, the trapping or capturing of radiation from the sun are taking place. Only the difference is that in greenhouse effect, greenhouse gases are responsible for capturing or trapping the radiations from the sun, while in case of greenhouse nursery, the glass is the material that is responsible to capture the radiations coming from the sun. So this is the greenhouse nursery that is made of glass and captures sun radiation from sun and keeps the atmosphere warm. So it is important to note down that greenhouse gases are important for the survival of living organisms, as this greenhouse keeps the atmosphere warm. But nowadays the problem is that these gases are increasing. So these greenhouse gases are crossing their limits. So it has become the problem for the whole atmosphere. So anything that is limitless causes problems in different ways. Now let us see the different causes of greenhouse effects. Causes of greenhouse effect. So first cause of greenhouse effect is the deforestation. So deforestation is the cutting of trees on large scale for different purposes, for constructing building, industries, hospitals, etc. As we know that the plants are the chief source for oxygen, and on one side the human population is increasing, and thus the percentage of carbon dioxide in the atmosphere is also increasing. On the other side the plants are decreasing, so the percentage of oxygen is also decreasing. So this will create imbalance in the atmosphere of the earth. So this carbon dioxide, that is the main greenhouse gas, is increasing, its percentage is increasing in the atmosphere as the human beings and animals are producing or releasing carbon dioxide by the process of respiration, and the plants are decreasing. So plants are decreasing that utilize this carbon dioxide for the process of photosynthesis. So these two process, respiration and photosynthesis, that balances the percentage of carbon dioxide and oxygen in the atmosphere, are getting affected by this greenhouse gas, that is the carbon dioxide gas, and it is the main cause, and thus the deforestation is the main cause for the greenhouse effect. The second cause is the use of vehicles that are run by petrol and diesel, that are the fossil fuels, that produces different type of gases like carbon dioxide, carbon monoxide, nitrogen dioxide, water vapor, and so on. So as greenhouse gases are increasing by the use of vehicles. The third one is the industrialization. This industrialization uses fossil fuels, that is the coal and petroleum product, to run industries, and this produces different poisonous gases like sulfur dioxide, nitrogen dioxide, water vapor, and so on. So these are the main causes of greenhouse effect. Now let us see what are the consequences. What are the consequences of greenhouse effect? So the first consequence of greenhouse effect is global warming. Now what is global warming? So the first consequence of greenhouse effect is global warming. Now what is global warming? It is the gradual increase in temperature of Earth atmosphere by greenhouse effect. So what is global warming? It is the gradual increase in the temperature of Earth atmosphere by greenhouse effect is called global warming. Now let us see what are the different consequences of global warming. So this global warming can't affect the climatic conditions or weather changes. The climatic conditions, this global warming can affect the growing season of crops. Growing season of crops can be affected by the global warming. Monsoon time can be also affected by this global warming. Another consequence of global warming is the melting of glacier. Melting of glacier by which the level of sea water present in the sea becomes high and flood situations can be formed in the coastal areas, the areas that are near to the sea. Now moving ahead, we have the other consequence of greenhouse effect, and that is the ozone layer depletion. So the second consequence of greenhouse effect is the ozone layer depletion. There is also a molecule of 3 oxygen atom is present in the upper surface of atmosphere, and this is called ozone layer, and its symbol is O3. So this O3 is ozone, that is a molecule of 3 oxygen atoms. Even though this ozone is harmful, it protects us from the harmful radiations, that is ultraviolet radiations coming from the sun. Now the chlorofluorocarbon is the chemical or the compound of carbon that consists of both chlorine and fluorine, that makes it stable and it cannot be degraded by any biological processes. This chemical or gas is depleting, or recently a hole is found or discovered in the ozone layer just above the Antarctica. So such type of holes in the ozone layer is a matter of concern as it protects us from the harmful ultraviolet rays. So if this hole becomes wider, it will allow the entry of ultraviolet rays from the sun to the earth, and that will create different type of health related problems for the plants, animals, human beings. Different diseases and skin diseases can be caused by this ultraviolet rays. So this ozone layer finally protects us from the ultraviolet rays. The next is the let us say the preventive measures. What are the different preventive measures to reduce greenhouse effect? Let us see what are the different preventive measures to reduce greenhouse effect. So the first cause was the deforestation. So here the deforestation is replaced by the afforestation. That means growing more and more plants can decreases the percentage of carbon dioxide in the atmosphere. These vehicles should be replaced by the cycles, We should use cycle, e-rickshaw and CNG buses. CNG buses. And industrialization, this fossil fuel should be replaced by natural gases. So these are the few preventive measures to reduce the greenhouse gases. So this is all about greenhouse effect. Thank you.